Hello, and welcome to Mission Matters Live, a program focused on promoting a spirit of mission among the people of God in the Archdiocese of Chicago. My name is Megan Mio, and I'm the director of the Global Mission Office, and our engineer is Mike. The Kizito Family is a Catholic religious community that ministers to the children of Haiti, specifically in the Cité-Soleil district, the largest slum in Port-au-Prince. The Kizito Family manages 7 houses that welcome many orphaned, abandoned, and needy children, as well as 8 free schools that provide education and moral training to children with no other option. The Kizito Family makes the protection of children in Haiti its priority. And so we are blessed to have with us Sister Paësie. She is the founder of the Kizito Family religious community, and she's a former missionary of charity who ministered in many places around the world before arriving in Haiti. The Kizito Family was founded in 2017, particularly to minister with children who are the most vulnerable and yet full of such potential for transforming the nation of Haiti. Sister Paësie was invited to visit Chicago this summer to serve as a keynote speaker for the ISCALI annual conference. This provided an opportunity to tell her story more widely. So thank you so much, Sister Paësie, for being willing to sit down with us. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
It's wonderful. Well, we're really glad that we have this opportunity through the interview to share your story with more folks. I'm sure many will hear you at the conference, but we wanted to, since you're here in Chicago and only just a few days in the United States, arrival from Haiti, we have a real fresh take from you about what's happening in Haiti. We want to hear about it. So thank you so much for sharing. So starting off, please tell us your story. Tell us how you discerned the vocation to be a missionary sister.
So I was born in France. I did not really discern. I was just called when I was in 9th grade, and the call was quite clear and strong. Mm-hmm. And so when just after high school, I looked for the Missionaries of Charity. Well, I knew Mother Teresa like everybody, from the media.
Sure. And
then I looked for them in France, and I joined after high school.
Wow, young, very young. You knew for sure this was it.
Yeah, the call was clear, and I did not have to go visit different congregations because I just saw myself with Mother Teresa, and I felt that was where the Lord wanted me to be.
Wow. So then you joined in France. Did you go through novitiate?
Yeah, no, I joined in England. Since the English is a community language. They usually have European girls join in England and stay there for a few months. And then went to Rome. I was a novice in Poland. It was still communist at that time. And then I was sent to mission to different countries. And in 1999, I was sent to Haiti by the community. So that's how I went to Haiti.
You first arrived there. And you served as a missionary of charity for some years, between 1999 and 2017.
Yeah, yes. So altogether I was 30 years a missionary of charity, but in Haiti, it's now 26 years I've been there.
Oh my goodness, wow. So then what led you to the founding of your own religious community, the Kizito Family, and to your moving on from the Missionaries of Charity?
So to answer to that, I like to say, to tell the vision that Mother Teresa had before the foundation of the Missionaries of Charity. She had visions. She never told us about that, but after her death, we read about it in her diary. So she had this one vision where she sees herself as a child, and when she sees Jesus on the cross, who is alive, but on the cross, and he's speaking to her. And on that same scene, there is a group of children in the dark, and when Jesus tells her, do you see those children? They do not love me because they do not know me. You go bring my light to them. So we read that after Mother Teresa died. And in my first years in Port-au-Prince, so the sisters there do medical work. They give free medical care to very poor people. So that's what I had been doing with my sisters, and I loved doing that. But I noticed there were other needs, especially all these children wandering on the streets and very much in danger in every way. So seeing those children, it's like the words of Jesus to Mother Teresa came back to me, and I felt very strongly that I should do something to protect them from the dangers of the street. And Jesus also, in that same vision, Jesus says, if you knew how it hurts to see their souls soiled with sin. So protecting them from the dangers of the street, also from evil that is on the streets.
Around, yeah.
So that's how I was inspired to do something for the children. And then because the medical work was already like so intense, it kind of was not possible to do that within the framework of the Missionaries of Charity, even though it's really it's Mother Teresa's charism. It's not a new charism.
Okay.
So I shared that with my superiors. I shared that with the bishop there also, and he really encouraged me to found a new religious community. That's how in 2017 I left the Missionaries of Charity. We remain close in many ways, but I'm no longer a Missionary of Charity, and so the new community's name is Kizito Family.
And Kizito is named after a saint from Uganda, correct?
Yes, he's the youngest of the Ugandan martyrs, St. Charles Lwanga and his companions. So Kizito is the youngest one. I chose him as a little African saint, an inspiration for the children there who are African descent also.
Especially a young person whose faith was that strong that he was martyred as a teenager.
Died for his faith, yeah.
Died for his faith, absolutely. So now I'm guessing that the Missionaries of Charity, you had, did you have novices or young women who wanted to join the Missionaries of Charity who were in Haiti?
Yeah, there was a group of young women. Actually, I was in charge of the formation also at one point. Many had come, not many stayed, but we do have Haitian Missionaries of Charity sisters. There are a few, but not many.
And now the Kizito family is very small. You're just starting out, right?
Yes.
So are there other members of the family that you can tell us about?
So yeah, we had the community, as you say, is very, very small. So our service to the children is done also by staff. And I mean, now we're serving 3,000 children. We have 185 persons, staff members.
Wow.
Yeah, like mostly teachers, because
of course.
So yeah, we created free schools, kind of special schools, because we take children who had been on the streets, like who didn't go to school and are like 10, 12, even sometimes 14, and it's like their first
starting
in school. So these are the schools are right in the middle of that slum area, so that it is accessible to the children. So yeah, we have staff, and also we have a group of volunteers, like the catechists, because we do have catechism centers. More than 1,000 children attend the Sunday schools. So this also, in my years in Haiti, I saw that very poor children, even though their parents would go to church, but they did not have access to receiving the sacrament, because like they wouldn't have a birth certificate or not going to school, so they're not in a setting where they can receive instructions. And already as a missionary of charity, we had begun with some of my sisters to set up these Sunday schools. And I saw how easy it was, in the sense that it was like, you know, you invite children for catechism and it's like, yeah, we are going for catechism, and you know, the children keep coming, and they receive the sacraments and they remain in the church and they form church groups. And I had some experience of doing CCD and in other countries, so comparing the two, I could see how easy it was to do it, and really bearing fruit. And I thought it was too bad that nobody would be doing it.
Right. It's something that people would respond to. But then to find the catechists and the teachers, I mean, is there process? You go through training, and how do you find these folks?
So, because of the violence in Cité-Soleil between the different gangs, we were not able to get like regular teachers who would be living outside of the slum area. So mostly we hire young people who just graduated from high school and wouldn't have the means to pay college study or university study, but that are living right there. And so they would just start teaching, and at the same time we would help them either go to college in the afternoon, or we have our own training sessions. Right now we are having a training sessions for all our teachers going on in July. And so, but the advantage of that is that our schools kept functioning all through the year, even though there was violence, whereas many other schools in Haiti are not able to function.
Yeah, right.
But because the teachers are living right there.
Right. There's no travel. There's no,
Yeah, and same for the catechists also.
Okay, sure. And there are other ministries as well. You're also trying to deal with the issue of hunger.
So yeah, well, sure, that's the first thing, because the kids get into the streets in the first place often because of hunger. Like mothers would go often in Cité-Soleil. Mothers will go out early in the morning to try to go to work or to sell something in the market. They often spend the whole day out. Children are alone at home. So when the boys turn 7 or 8, if they have nothing to eat, they just go out into the streets and start looking for something, either digging into the trash where they get pieces of metals they can sell, or they go begging or stealing. So that's how they get into the streets. So yeah, dealing with hunger. Of course, in the schools, we feed the children, and this also draws them to the school, it convinces them to come to school, motivates them, and and then we have also the homes. So the children in the schools, they mostly have parents or a grandmother or an aunt, so they go back home after school. But we have homes for children who had been completely cut off from their families and were living on the streets. So we have 7 of those homes also. So there we feed them also, of course.
Oh my goodness, yes. You said how many? 3,000? How many children?
We do have 3,000 children all together attending our different activities. But in the schools, it's 1,600. In the homes, 150. Those who are like full-time with us. And then we have the catechism centers. We have sports, music, all kinds of other activities. But the idea is to draw them away from the street to a safe place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give them an activity, something to really help them to grow in their sense of their own dignity and to be children.
Just be children, yeah.
Just be kids, be curious, play and socialize and things like that. So, I mean, you've been talking about that reality in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. We've been hearing in the news it's not good, and it seems to be getting worse and worse every day. Can you tell us what life is like right now, particularly in the Cité-Soleil slum where you're at?
Yeah, so the poverty is very extreme, hunger, as I've just said. We mothers usually cook once a week on Sundays in Cité-Soleil, like a cooked meal. Other days they would just buy some snack, crackers or a piece of bread and give to the children. But usually they try to cook a meal on Sundays. And then I would hear children tell me on a Monday, Mommy didn't cook yesterday. So that would mean, the entire week, and then she didn't cook again on Sunday. So that's really just to give you an idea of the hunger. And then, they are lacking all the basic. I think we have not had electricity for the last 4 years. It's difficult to get water, housing. Also, even the little shacks, the little tiny shacks, they have to pay a rent for it. So if they don't have money to pay the rent, sometimes they have to, mothers sleep on the streets with their children. Plus the violence. So the conflicts So before there were conflicts between the gangs in Cité-Soleil that was very violent for the last 5 years. And we had many children who were victims of that. Even, children injured or killed inside their houses by stray bullets going through the tin roof. Wow. And things like that. Yeah. Many mothers also were victims of sexual violence, because this is also the reality when like a gang invades a different area. But it's a year now since the gangs united and made peace among themselves in order to fight against the police. So it has been a bit more quiet in Cité-Soleil, within the slum area. Okay. But then they've been attacking other areas outside, in other parts of the city, which were peaceful before, which are more wealthy. So the violence is going on, increasing. I mean, in 2023, there were more civilians killed in Haiti than in Ukraine. That's the figures from the United Nations Human Rights Office. And then in 24, the number increased, and in 2025, the number increased again. So that just gives you an idea of the level of violence.
Oh my goodness. And this is the setting where these kids are trying to grow up, and that they're surrounded by this reality. Can you say a little bit more, too, about why you think things are as bad as they are in Haiti? Perhaps you mentioned the spiritual reasons in addition to the...
Well, actually, once I asked this question to a Haitian bishop, a very holy man, Monseigneur Colimon, and he told me, for him, the voodoo is the first cause of underdevelopment, because it fosters fear, it fosters mistrust, suspicion among people, and revenge. So it's just like the opposite of Christian values, where the stronger one protects the weaker one, and forgiveness and love of neighbor, where the European civilization was built on that. So that's kind of the opposite. And then there is a history also, and today the corruption, both coming from outside, like the weapon traffic come from Florida. All the weapons that are being used in Haiti come from outside of Haiti. And then the corruption inside. So there are many causes. It's this has been many years now, even in the earthquake as well, from not too long ago. It disrupted things as well. It just seems like, and that's an area that gets the hurricanes. I mean, there's so many factors, I'm sure, that contribute to disorder and people not looking for different ways to survive. Now, I understand that at one point you actually received a phone call from Pope Francis before he passed away, of course, and he wanted to speak with you. So I wonder if you could say a little bit. I know he was very dedicated to the welfare of children, and he was very concerned about children in Haiti, in the Ukraine, in the Middle East, children that suffer. So I wonder, what did he have to say with you? What did he want to know? Actually, it was a very short phone call, a complete surprise, of course. Didn't expect to get a call from the Pope. So it was a priest who called, asking me if I speak Spanish. So I was explaining to him. I answered in Spanish, but I did not speak Spanish. But maybe I said that well enough that he just handed the phone over to the Pope. That was so funny. And then he must have told him, she speaks Spanish. So anyway. The Pope, he basically just thanked me for being there for the children, and said he was praying for us, and he gave me his blessing. It was just very, very short, but what really touched me was the tone of his voice. He was just like so loving and fatherly. It really touched me, and I told the children, because I understood this was not a phone call, and he was not calling me. He wanted to reach out to the poorest children. He didn't say it like that, but it's kind of clear. So I did tell the children about the phone call from the Pope, and they were all excited about it.
Yes, of course.
And all happy. Yeah.
Oh, he's heard about us. He wants to support us. That is a beautiful thing. And that makes me kind of think about this idea of presence as a form of missionary work as well. You are there at a time when very few people, I mean, honestly, some people can't get into Haiti because of the travel restrictions and things of that nature. But that oftentimes, I know in speaking with other missionaries go where no one else will go, at places that seem impossible, places that are dealing with so many tragedies, as we've just been discussing. And you're there, and you're staying there, and you're not leaving. You've made this your focus. This is your ministry. So I wonder if you could just speak about the power of presence. And if you believe that your congregation being present, your community being present, speak to God's presence as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's nearly not like an option that I would leave now. It's so clear. I think it's the strength of the call. It's so clear to me that Jesus wants me to be there. That I'm not even thinking of leaving. And this kind of make me think of one scene I had witnessed during the conflict between the gangs. There was a road where it was very dangerous to pass there, because people were being attacked on that road, and but people from that area, they were kind of obliged to pass there every morning to go out to work, go look for some food for their kids, and then they were obliged to pass again in the afternoon to go back home. And so one day it was like there was like several hundreds of people were standing on the road. They were kind of waiting because the gang was there, so they were afraid to pass, and they were kind of waiting to see if they would move out. So they had been waiting for a long time. And then I was speaking to some of the women there, and I was telling that maybe you should sleep out this evening, because it doesn't look like the gang is going to move away. And then they said, no, the children are there. The children are inside, so they had to get home. So yes. I feel a little bit like that. Yeah, yes. I feel like it's busy.
This is where the children are, and this is where I'm called to be.
That's my place, yeah.
I mean, of course, the strength of your original call, it makes a lot of sense that even now you'd say, no, I am certain that this is what God wants for me. This is God's dream for me to continue to do this work. And do you think that, you found evidence of God's presence in this community that you're living with?
Well, just the very fact of being there, it's His work, it's His mission. So yeah, it's very clear that He's present. He's present in the children, in their smile. I see every day, and even in the not only the children, even the mothers. What I experience from them, also their courage and their strength. All these are signs of the presence of God to me, strengthening my faith.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. That's beautiful. And I think that it's really a wonderful story to hear you say how excited the children are when they think about going to catechism class.
Yeah.
How that there's a strength of the faith in the community there that's already present.
Yes.
Yes. The church is operating and growing, or how would you describe the state of the church in Haiti?
The church is very present. So now, like in the Diocese of Port-au-Prince, there is a number of parishes that had been closed because of these gangs invading different areas when everybody has to run away because they just kill people and set houses on fire. So some priests had to leave their parishes. I think about 16, I'm not sure I'm saying the right figure, but anyway, there is a number of parishes that had been closed. But like recently, one of the gang leaders said, well, so many people want to get their children baptized, and by the way, there is no priest, so the priest has to come back. And he sent the message on a video he posted on the social media, telling the priest has to come back.
Amazing.
Because people can't get their children baptized.
He wants to encourage it.
So since he's in charge of organizing everything there, it's also part of, the church has to open again. So, and it happened.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a beautiful story. It is a story of hope, which I would like us to end on. We're going to continue our conversation with the second part, learn a little bit more about Sister Paësie. But I invite our listeners to stay tuned for part 2 of our conversation about mission with the children of Haiti. Come right back.